Hey everybody, welcome back. Now let's see. Some of these lines were edited without adequate context and sound awesome. I just hope the translations fit the scenes in-game. Oh my. Well, as usual with this sort of thing, I blame Tom. Yeah, it wasn't a problem. Okay, so Rumnos is doing alright. No lingering curse effects or whatever. Yeah, we need to get the other half of that mask. Okay, this means we just have... This means we just have to get through the next set of dungeon. And for that, we're going to be picking up and using a different party. We're going to need Durin and Ozma's abilities for what's coming up next. Because the next dungeon, I hate to say it, is a water temple. Which means lots of dealing with water levels. Plus, there are quite a few locked chests in there. And these enemies are extremely annoying. They can trap you in their goo. It's just a pain to deal with, even if they don't really do much damage to me right now after all of my levels and equipment buying and that sort of thing. Yeah, see, Adol is basically stun-locked unless I do a perfect dodge somehow. So yeah, there's really nothing stopping you from doing these two dungeons whichever way you want. There's no special thing you have to pick up on Mount Vesuvio to access Lake Tolmas. And I'm just gonna dodge around these monsters. Nothing good comes from engaging with any of these. The only thing I'll be punching are these materials nodes. Hey, memory fragment! I need it! It also feels like it's been a while since I've just chosen to control Adol normally. Oh, this thing took place during this game. Yeah, the other two are Einst and Geis. Yeah, if you want to know more about Ernst and Geis, just play Ark of Nepishtim. Boy, is he. It'll take some years, but it's gonna happen. And there's our next dungeon. I'm going to be editing Adol's skills because I haven't actually changed them since the beginning of the game, more or less. And I figured he could use some variety. Yeah, it's not muddy. What for? What do they do? Oh god, it's Lagoon Castle, isn't it? Okay, for all I've complained about the whole water levels thing, this place isn't actually all that complicated once it comes down to it. You just need to keep your eye on things that your characters can interact with, and you'll be fine. The whole dungeon here is about getting that water wheel in the center working. And to do that, we're going to have to activate some devices and break some things. Yeah, I know, breaking ancient ruins, but Adol is an adventurer, not an archaeologist. I think this area is a nod to the water dungeon in Dawn of Ys. Only hopefully Adol won't stand in front of a floodgate when he opens it this time around. One of the other reasons I'm playing as Adol here, besides the fact that I haven't done that in a while, is the fact that most of the enemies here are actually weak to slash. So the pain train that Adol can bring is going to be very effective here. Now, we can't break that cracked wall with Ozma yet, we have to do some things first. We can only break cracked walls that are already underwater. I don't know how this works either. I just do what the game tells me. Thankfully, Ys games tend to be very clear on what they want you to actually do to progress the game. Oh, mandatory fragment. Ah, there we go. More of these two. Yeah, that's something he has in common with Fina and Rhea. Because as we saw in Ys Origin, Fina and Rhea didn't really want to be thought of as gods, or at least not worshipped as gods. Oh, now we're getting a clearer picture of what happened. Yeah, there's another fragment around here. I think maybe more than one. But there's definitely one more right at the end of this dungeon. Frog! These things spew out a lot of poison. And poison is really the main status ailment you'll be encountering here. Okay, so there's a chest underwater, but we can't get it until the enemy is done for, which it is. Okay. Oh, the spirit necklace. Yeah, it's the same as the spirit necklace from Ys Oath and Felghana. It'll give you a full revive if you get knocked out. But only once. Okay, we don't want to be here quite yet because there are some treasures I want to pick up. Away from that frog. Work your magic, Durin. The magic of feet. Oh, 3 chests here. Okay. So, more materials, and another of the warrior seal items. I really should have left the dragon scales on, though, because we're going to be using those a fair bit. In a water dungeon? Who would have thought? And there I go, getting poisoned again. I don't really care that much about it, because poison does fixed damage throughout the entire game. I'd be more scared if the enemy status ailment around here was something like burn. Yeah, I'm definitely leaving the dragon scales on. Huh. I'll figure that out later. You know, the way I think most games would have done it is that they'd put the wizard boss in the puzzle dungeon and the brute boss in the straight dungeon bash dungeon, but that's not what they've done here. They've done it the other way around. But then I remember that's the way it was in Dawn of Ys. Because the second fight with Gaddis in Dawn of Ys took place at the end of a very maze-like area. And the fight with Bami took place at the end of a monster-infested forest. Okay, we've done the first water-raising bit, but not the last. Activating that device also links 2 areas of the dungeon, so we can backtrack to where we need to be a whole lot faster than it took for us to get there. Boom. And now we can access this half of the dungeon. There's not much more to say here. We're just going to be fighting a lot more of the same monsters throughout this entire area. The thing about Ys dungeons and Ys games in general is that they tend to be rather linear, even though you can backtrack to do side areas or side quests. The games have never really been all that open in the order you were meant to tackle content. It's pretty stark in all of the East games, especially East 2. And I have to say that this is completely fine by me. The reason being is that I've tried to play a lot of open-world games, and they just feel like they're actually hurt by a lack of focus in what they really want the player to be interested in doing. They include a lot of content for content's sake, and I think Jim Sterling has done at least one video on that. I would be surprised if he hasn't. Because just having more stuff isn't really a mark of quality on its own. Okay, we've gotten the water wheel going, which means we won't be doing any more swimming as far as I know. Just letting the cape healing me up a bit. Is there something in the water? Oh, let's keep going. One of the reasons I tend to play JRPGs almost exclusively for my role-playing experiences, when it comes to computer or video game role-playing games, is because so far they've generally resisted the call to open worlds that seems to have consumed a lot of other role-playing games. Oh, there's the altar already. I thought this dungeon was going to be longer. Well, we're just gonna drop a save before we move on. No reason. Is it now? Well, it's obviously not filthy by the time it gets downriver, so... And they're spewing their what? Oh yeah, we've seen this before. Oh, so on its own it's a deadly poison, but... well, I don't know how this works. It just works. Oh my god, it is Lagoon Castle. New fragment. What do you got for me, memory? You know, I'm also glad we get to see more of LaFonce, because in the previous versions of East 4, he's always treated as some kind of really big deal. But in Mask of the Sun and Dawn of East, he only really gets a few lines. So I guess Falcom agreed with that and decided to just throw in a much bigger presence for him. Much the same way they used Ys Origin to give much more focus on Fina and Rhea. And there we go. Oh, hey, buddy. Yeah, now we know the origin of the tribe's laws concerning the Spartas. But Oh boy, here comes the jerk. Oomph. Going right for it, are ya? Well, my favorite version of Gaddis is still the one from Dawn of Ys, who is so single-mindedly bloodthirsty that he's actually the most competent member of Team Evil. But Ozma is the chief. Yeah, one of the reasons I'm glad that the Japanese audio was patched in was because Gaddis is voiced by Tesho Genda, and if he's voicing a big brute villain man, you don't hide him away. Alright, bring it, Gaddis. Put it back! I prefer your armored form from Dawn of Ys. So, Gaddis does a lot more melee stuff, as you might imagine, being the big brute armor man. But he has some other tricks up his sleeves. He can summon Luden Zalin over there. And then just continue to attack. However, beating his little monster servants is a pretty quick thing. But then he fires homing missiles. And also throws the anchor at the end of his missile arm as a boomerang. His homing missiles are pretty easy to dodge because they're just slow, but you do need to keep an eye on them because they won't stop tracking you until they blow. Okay, so he can charge up to fire what's basically a gigantic wave motion shot. However, this is where you can fill his stun gauge and stagger him, thus being able to do a whole bunch of extra damage to him when you want to. And after that he'll repeat with another summon. But by this point his HP should be low enough that he's near defeat anyway. Oh, trying to do that again? No, you're not. And that's it for Gaddis. Oh, you're not gonna go home? Well, Garuda and his no longer living allies, I guess. Thanks for staying in the party.
よっしゃ。
Yeah, it's kinda where we found the other half of the Mask of the Moon. Let's go get... And there is the other half we needed. Yeah, we need to figure out how to fix this thing. But that's for later. For now, we are going to save, and next time we're going to see the Grand Rue and what we need to do to actually move this thing forward. Bye!